Why do people unsubscribe? That's what we will be looking at here on this lesson. But people may unsubscribe because maybe the content is not relevant to them and you sent them similar content over a period of time. And so they make the decision that the content is just not relevant to them. The other reason may be that sometimes people will buy lists. They'll buy lists from companies or whatnot. And when you buy lists, because people haven't actively subscribed to those lists, they haven't intentionally subscribed to you, most likely the information that you're putting out is going to generate a lot of unsubscribes because they never actively participated in signing up for that list. So when an unsubscription event happens, which is what I like to call it, but when such an event happens, you really want to understand why the person might have unsubscribed. And those are the two key reasons there. And primarily that the content is not relevant to them. They did not sign up for the list. And so you want to start to look at, how you acquire and how you connect with your subscribers. Generally, if you connect with your subscribers, if they subscribe to you through the point of contact which you have put up, such as on your website or through trade shows, or they actually asked to be subscribed, then they're going to be engaged. However, if you purchase lists, if you acquire lists through some vague means, and meaning that the people did not actively subscribe, then that's what's going to happen. You're going to get unsubscriptions because, again, it's all about the content and relevancy and them taking the action to actually subscribe. So let's go through here and look at how people and how many people usually will unsubscribe to a list. Now, again, let's go to the dashboard here. And so from the dashboard, again, we can access the audience or our list from this button here or from our audience tab up here. So let's click on the audience tab up here. And then we'll go to view contacts. And from here, we can then go into our stats. Let's click on overview. And we can click on unsubscribed contacts. Now, when people unsubscribe, they usually have a reason as to why they do it, or rather they select that this is why they did it. And you can see all those reasons by clicking on the individual people, the individual lists, to see why they unsubscribed. So this person subscribed April 6, 2018, and for some reason, in February 4th, 2019, decided that they were no longer interested. Now, we can immediately jump to the conclusion that the content I was sending was not relevant to this particular individual. It did not help them with their business. And sometimes you are going to get unsubscriptions. You're going to get those events. And, people will leave, people will join. So it's just the nature of the game. It's understanding it and seeing areas where you can make adjustments to minimize your churn rate. And by your churn rate, I mean minimize the number of people leaving your email list. But again, this person decided that this was not, the content being sent was no longer relevant to them, so they decided to leave. And there's not much you can do about that. Simply accept it and move on. However, there are other unsubscribers who may have other reasons, but generally this is the reason that you'll get. They're no longer interested. Let's look at another. Again, this one here says no longer interested. So let's look at another that may have another reason as to why they unsubscribed. Okay, so we have a lot of no longer interested, which is generally good. There's no negative aspect about that. It's just people are leaving. So let's look at this one here. So this individual unsubscribed because they did not sign up for the list. Now, they did at some point. However, perhaps they've forgotten, or usually what happens, and this is again part of the game, part of the beast, is that they subscribe for the email, and for some reason the emails that you send continuously goes to their spam box, and so they never see it. And then one day it shows up. One day a year later, as you can see here, and instead of going into the spam box, it actually shows up in their inbox. And so because they haven't seen your email for a number of months, they now see it. They forget that they subscribed. And so they decide to unsubscribe because perhaps that particular content at that point in time did not relate to them. And so they click did not sign up for list. And so you will get that. So just keep that in mind. But the reasons as to why people may unsubscribe are quite varied. Now, MailChimp does make it easy by actually gauging people as to why they are unsubscribing. And this is information that you can use to better assess and manage your email list. Voila. Let's move on to the next lesson.